In the last round of AFC Outdoors, Team Mercury rookie Chris Hickson conquered the mighty Clarence River and claimed his first ever AFC win.
Yeah!
This week, our Bass Pros return to the action as the AFC travels to Lake Glenbawn in New South Wales for the third of our Bass rounds. You're watching the Australian Fishing Championships.
Hi, I'm Steve Starling and welcome to Lake Glenbawn in the Upper Hunter Valley for round 5 of the Australian Fishing Championships. After 2 rounds of bass and 2 rounds of bream, we have a championship leaderboard that clearly shows 2 groups emerging. And surprisingly, it's our defending champions of Wright and Watson who find themselves behind the 8 ball in the 2 lowest placed teams. Team Humminbird continues to set the pace, topping the championship leaderboard with 38 points. Chris Hickson's inaugural win sees Team Mercury edge within just 5 points of the leaders with 33 points. Team Ford Courier sits third in the race on 24 points, while Team Berkley is just 1 adrift on 23. I'm joined by David Green from Team Mercury and Harry Watson from Team Berkley. Now, Greenie, it has been a brilliant debut start for you and your teammate Chris Hickson in your first AFC to be just 5 points behind the leaders, Team Humminbird. How does that feel?
Feels great, Steve. As a team, I think we've gelled pretty well. The team is fishing as a team in the pre-fish rounds as well. So, no, we're wrapped.
Now, Harry Watson, at the opposite end of the scale, you were leading the whole championship at this point last year, and yet now you're languishing in last place. How does that feel?
Not much difference, Steve. We were cruising pretty well last year. We were pretty confident, but that's sport, isn't it? You know, one year you're high and on top, and the next year you're low and on the bottom, and the media are on your back, I suppose. So, no, we'll just keep fishing and plug on, and you never know, you might be telling me the opposite at the end of it all.
Well, I hope I am. So good luck out there today, and let's have a look at today's arena, beautiful Lake Glenbawn. The third of our 4 bass arenas in Series 3 of the Australian Fishing Championships is Lake Glenbawn in the picturesque Hunter Valley of New South Wales. This region is home to some full-bodied red wines and some equally solid Australian bass. Lake Glenbawn has been hit hard by the long-running drought and the water levels are well down, but the fishing doesn't seem to have suffered too much as a result. Our bass pros are likely to target Lake Glenbawn's abundant dead trees, steep rocky points, submerged weed bed edges, and also the shallower waters adjacent to more gently sloping open banks. The guys will also be relying on their Humminbird depth sounders to locate any deeply suspended schools of bass out in open water away from the edges. Fishing strategies will include casting and retrieving or jigging with a range of hard-bodied lures, spinner baits and soft plastics. And those ubiquitous jackals are once again likely to be a popular choice, as are Berkley and Gulp's extensive range of soft plastics. But don't just take my word for it. Let's hear from our 4 bass pros on what they think the successful strategies are most likely to be here at lovely Lake Glenbawn.
Last year in the AFC I had a really good round at Glenbawn. I got onto a hot bite, one of the best spinnerbait bites I've ever had, and I'm hoping that I can do something similar this year again.
First up, I'll just be going reaction baits, jackals and spinnerbaits, looking for those active fish to come up and eat those lures early.
When it's cloudy, the fish tend to stay up in the weeds, so I'm hoping for overcast conditions and then maybe they'll bite all day, but yeah, we'll see what it comes.
I think the fish could basically bite on everything, so I'll have a rod loaded with a soft plastic, a jackal, a spinnerbait, pretty much everything I know how to throw, and I'm just going to go around banks and explore them with everything.
Well, it certainly sounds like we'll see a range of different tactics used throughout the day here at Lake Glenbawn. But right now we're only moments from the start, so let's cross to AFC's own Matthew Campbell to call the action.
Thanks very much, Steve, and our Bass Pros are back for round 5, and before they set off, here's a quick recap of today's rules. They'll be fishing a time limit of 6 hours using flies and lures only. Each angler will weigh only their 2 heaviest legal size fish, 10 points awarded for top place, right through to 3 points for last. It's going to be a unique test for our pros today. They're sharing Lake Glenbawn with a large amateur tournament.
There's another tournament getting run today with about 50, 60 boats, so it's going to be tough. We're going to have to work for our fish.
We're probably about 25 minutes behind the main pack. There was about 60 boats.
So it'll be interesting to just see what happens out here today.
It's going to be tough as the Ford Courier clock counts down the final seconds. There's the siren.
Hold on.
Round 5 is underway. And once again, our pros are taking off at a tremendous speed, so it's essential that they're wearing their Club Marine PFDs. Today marks the halfway stage of the championship, so it's going to be crucial for all the teams. And as our pros make their way to their first location of the day, let's take a quick look at the Club Marine weatherboard. We're expecting cloudy periods with a chance of showers, an estimated top of 22 degrees with a moderate east to northeast wind freshening throughout the day. First up, here's Team Humminbird's Carl Jocumsen, and as you can see, finding space is a challenge.
Yep. Oh, small fish. First hit of the day. Done about 50 metres of bank, fairly solid, and haven't had a hit. That was the first hit I've had. Yep, got him. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, he's all right. This could be our first scorer. Had a hit, next cast, bang, on. Not fighting very hard. Oh, yeah, he's a bass. Rods, and there's the first keeper of the day. Took a little bit, but we got one. It's not a bad little fish, so it's a good start. First legal.
Once again, Team Humminbird setting the early pace. Now here's Team Mercury's David Green.
What we're trying to do is get that spinnerbait right up in the back, behind that weed. Looking for some active fish to be feeding up there early, because they're using this weed as a haven to come out and sit in. Actually, I've got to learn to slow down. Yep, gotcha. Come here. Oh, I think he's still a little fish. Yeah, he's still a little fish. Oh, he'll be legal, this one. We'll just lift him straight in. At least he's going to be long enough. That's the start.
Success for both pros on spinnerbaits. After the break on AFC, the Glenbawn bass smacking continues.
Yep, oh yeah.
Welcome back to Lake Glenbawn and round 5 of the Australian Fishing Championships. Behind me is Ford Courier's Jason Ehrlich, who took out the Glenbawn round in last series of the AFC. Let's find out a bit more about the bloke they call the Colonel.
They call me the Colonel because I like Kentucky Fried Chicken and it's probably my favourite food, so I eat a fair bit of that.
Meet Jason Ehrlich, lover of fast food, fast boats and fishing.
I like tournament fishing just because it's the thrill of competition against your fellow angler, and it's just a chance to try and prove that you're the best.
The Colonel returns to the Australian Fishing Championships after finishing runner-up in last season's AFC Bass Rounds.
The biggest lesson I learned in last year's AFC was probably just to respect all my anglers. Like, I've always respected them, but these guys that are fishing these rounds are just such good competitors and so competitive. They all strive to do the same thing, and that's win, and it just makes it hard, and you've just got to respect their ability to catch fish.
The 29-year-old from Toowoomba is this year looking to go one better, but knows to do so, he'll have to defeat the best Australia has to offer.
It'd be great to be able to beat all the guys on the AFC circuit, just because I want to do well for Ford and, of course, do well for Slick, because we're a team.
Back here at Lake Glenbawn, Jason Ehrlich is working the timber. Now, he's already got one in the well. He's looking for the all-important second keeper.
Oh, that's in there. That's in the guts. Any of those little pockets between the branches, just hammer the lure into those. It's the spot that it's most likely to be a fish. Oh yeah, just like that. They always sit in those pockets. He's only a little guy, this one. I'm just going to pole him in, just to get him in.
So Team Ford Courier, now today's new leaders. As we check the Ford replay, his first legal coming some 15 minutes ago. It was caught on a TN60 jackal. It's a top morning for Jason Ehrlich. Now, with Team Berkley sitting at the bottom of the championship standings, it's imperative that Harry Watson has a good day.
Yeah, I haven't fished this spot. I didn't even pre-fish this spot, but the place I really wanted to fish is back over there, and there was, when I come back, Jason was there and there was 2 other boats there, so can't see the sense in going there yet for a while. Just give it a rest, and when everyone clears away I might go back there. I think I can catch a fish there, but just wait till everyone leaves. This spot here is just a long point that comes out. There was no one here when I got here, so I don't like going this long without even a bite.
Not good signs for Harry Watson and Team Berkley. Now, one guy who's not doing it tough is Dave Green. He's already looking for his first upgrade. He landed his second legal just 3 minutes ago.
Yep, gotcha. Oh, that feels like a better fish too, actually. Oh, he's putting a bit of weight on me there. That was right out the front of that weed edge. If we can get this guy in the boat, we'll upgrade that little one. Try and get him up here, let him have a look at it. Oh, he's not much bigger. I actually hooked him underneath the neck, that's why he felt bigger.
So Team Mercury continuing to push for championship points. Back now to Jason Ehrlich.
It's a big tree, this guy. Just roll a few lures through him. Yep, on. Oh. Oh! After all that, I pulled the hooks on it. That was a nice fish.
The bass not saluting for the Colonel that time. Back with Dave Green, he's on again.
He's only a little tacker. Oh, hang on, hang on. Maybe he's not a little tacker. Oh, maybe he just swam out a little bit easier. I just have to see if I can get a look at him and then, oh no, he's all right. He's all right. Better get that net for him. Oh, we'll try and get him in the net. Oh, look how skinny that fish is for his size. That fish has absolutely no weight at all.
They may be lean, but they're in the live well for Green. As we check the Ford replay, we can relive his incredible run for Team Mercury. Now, he landed his first legal fish at 6:40. Amazingly, his second came just 2 minutes later. Now, by 6:45, the Green machine had his first upgrade. And then just 5 minutes after that, he had his second. That's 4 feisty Glenbawn bass in just 10 minutes. That is simply awesome stuff. Back with our championship leader, Jocumsen from Team Humminbird. Now, he's got one in the well. He's been fishing just over 2 hours.
Yep, oh yeah. Oh, come on, stay on.
It's been a change of tackle for Carl. He's now using a Jackal NT70.
Oh, he's got me in the weed. Oh, there he comes out. He's coming out. He mustn't be very big because he would have done me otherwise. It could be my second legal. What is he? Oh, yep. Yes. Nice fish. Yeah. Look at that.
Another good-sized bass, and it's time to upgrade now for Team Humminbird. Now back to Jason Ehrlich, still working the timber. Now he's been trying to upgrade for over 2 hours. Things have really dropped off for Team Ford Courier.
Yep, on. Oh, that's a bit better. That's a nicer fish, I think. So far he feels all right. He's cutting water, he's a bass. I don't think he's a yellow belly. He's coming easy there now. Got him out of the sticks. Oh, come on, stay with me, buddy. He's a lot nicer fish, this one. He's a lot nicer. Come here, mate. Yeah, that's what we wanted. Whew. Makes me feel a bit better. An upgrade at last, and a fish at last. It's been a long time coming.
A real sense of relief for Jason Ehrlich. Now back to Harry Watson. The competition is well into its 4th hour, and the great man hasn't put a single bass in the live well.
Man, I think if I was out fishing and I wasn't a competition, I'd go home, give it away, come back tomorrow, or in a month. The way I'm going.
Where you go, there's boats and more boats.
After the break on AFC, the battle for those Glenbawn bass continues. Welcome back to round 5 of the Australian Fishing Championships at Lake Glenbawn, and we're with Dave Green.
This is the problem, we've got boats all around us here now, in the middle of another tournament. And straight away my confidence is feeling low. Starts to play on your mind a little bit.
You going, boys? Doing any good?
Oh, I've got one about 38.
I'd take that at the moment. Haven't had a bite yet this morning.
The bass just aren't wild about Harry.
Young Carl Jocumsen of Team Humminbird has changed tactics completely and moved out to this standing timber where he's dropping a small soft plastic right down beside the trunk. He got a good fish like this in pre-fish, but it's a very nerve-wracking way to target big bass, and there's a good chance you're going to lose them when you do hook them.
Oh, yeah, got a fish. He ate it on the drop. Oh, yep, it's a big fish.
Now, as Starlo said, this is risky. And this bass is doing its best. Have a look to evade the net, trying to get back to the timber. This isn't going to be easy, and Carl Jocumsen knows it.
Oh, no. Oh, oh. Ah. Yes. Oh. Ah. I'm shaking like a bloody leaf.
Let's just take another look at that classic struggle on the forward replay. The bass trying to remain free, but Carl Jocumsen equal to the task and lands an upgrade.
Yeah, look at the difference. He's going in. And he's finally getting let go.
The bass may be released, but Team Humminbird not releasing its grip on the championship. Dave Green, oh, he's going slow now. Hasn't landed a fish in over 3 hours.
Oh. It's exactly what we wanted, was one of those fish to come out and have a go at that spinnerbait, and I've missed him.
Things are certainly getting tough for our rookie, but he's not the only one suffering. As we return to Jason Ehrlich from Team Ford Courier, it's been over an hour and a half since he upgraded. As the morning disappears, so too the bass.
It's crazy. There should be fish in all these spots. There just isn't.
Ehrlich needs a change of luck and perhaps a change of tactic.
Well, we're seeing something entirely different here. Harry Watson of Team Berkley is fly fishing, and this is the first fly fishing we've seen this year in the series.
Yep.
He's getting a little bit desperate. He's marked some fish here suspended in mid-water, and sometimes a fly will catch them when nothing else will. Like that.
I don't think it's legal though. Yes, it is. I'll take that.
Now, it's taken Harry 4.5 hours. I'd hate to see what happens if he drops it here at the last minute. Come on, Harry.
Is that a bass? You think that's a bass? 'Cause that's the first legal bass I've caught all day. I don't believe it.
Success at last for Team Berkley. As we head to the forward replay, we see the first bass of the championships taken on a fly. This is a great example. If it's not working for you, then it's time to change. It's time to try something else. Back over to Carl Jocumsen, still targeting the standing timber.
Yep, got him. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, this could be a good one. Oh, get out of there. Oh, jeez. Got him. He looks a bit better.
Once again, our championship leader picks up an important upgrade inside the last hour. Can Team Ford Courier bounce back? Will the rookie's early run be enough? Or has the young gun just secured the first ever AFC triple? Find out at the weigh-in after the break. Welcome back to AFC Outdoors from Lake Glenbawn. We're with Carl Jocumsen from Team Humminbird as he prepares for today's weigh-in. Two of our pros have already hit the scales, and Jason Ehrlich from Team Ford Courier is our current leader with a bag of 1.68 kilos. Just how will Carl Jocumsen go? Let's find out.
And Carl has two lovely bass in there from his morning's fishing. Beautiful fish. I'll get the water out of those and find out what they weigh. You had a fairly good day out there, didn't you?
Yeah, Steve had a really good day. Started off fairly slow. Got a couple of fish on the edges, and then we got one fish in the sticks, as you saw in the pre-fish yesterday, and then today went back and they were still there, and I've never caught them like that. My heart was in my mouth nearly the whole time, so I had a ball.
Well, you'd have to be happy about that. Now, this man is on a real roll at the moment. He's won 2 on the trot, and he's got to beat 1.68 to go into the lead here, and he's certainly going to do that with his 2.11 kilo bag. Well done, mate.
Thanks, Steve.
And we've kept him waiting until last. New boy Dave Green from Team Mercury with 2 lovely fish as well. And this is going to go right down to the wire because those are 2 fairly fat bass in there. So we'll pass them off to get rid of the water. And tell me a little bit about how your day progressed.
Steve, it started off pretty good. By about the first hour I had my fish in the well, upgraded a couple of times, and then it just didn't happen. About 4 hours for 2 bites, I think, and didn't even catch a fish. So lucky I got those fish early.
Well, let's find out what these two weigh, because we've got a real contest on our hands here with Carl Jocumsen on 2.11 kilos, and you're going to be very, very close to that. Can Carl make it 3 on the trot, or will it be David Green? Let's get him on the scales and find out. And it's 1.99 kilos, and a win to Carl Jocumsen.
Another sensational result for Team Humminbird, and Carl Jocumsen also picked up the 2 bonus points for landing the Mako Eyewear Big Fish at 1.05 kilos. A good chunky sized bass for Team Humminbird. As we check the final results for Lake Glenbawn, and as they did in round 2 at Courier, Team Humminbird again bags the maximum 12 points. Dave Green has picked up another 8 points for Team Mercury, while Jason Ehrlich has added 6 vital points for Team Ford Courier. It was a disappointing day for Team Berkley and Harry Watson. They finished 4th. But once again, the day belonged to Carl Jocumsen.
Everyone at home's giving me big fish vibes and ringing me and wishing me luck, and I think it's just all come together at once for some reason, and I can't believe it. I'm speechless.
So, at the conclusion of 5 rounds, the championship point score sees Team Humminbird reach 50 points, 9 better than second place Team Mercury. Team Ford Courier tightens their grip on 3rd place with 30 points, while Team Berkley is 4 points further adrift on 26. One of the secrets to Carl's success at Lake Glenbawn was the performance of his Stratus boat. All AFC teams fish from purpose-built Stratus fishing boats. These boats easily travel over 100 kilometres an hour, but are also incredibly stable at rest. And, as you'd expect from boats worthy of AFC endorsement, they have everything you need for a successful day on the water. Live wells, tackle and rod storage, a cooler for your lunch and drinks, and enough fuel underfloor to fish for a long weekend. The rigs, identical to those used by our AFC anglers, cost around $50,000. Visit stratusboats.com.au to find your nearest dealer.
Well, it was another fantastic day for Team Humminbird, as young Carl Jocumsen established a new AFC record thanks to his hat trick of 3 consecutive bass round wins. And next round, it's the last chance for our bass pros to add vital championship points to their team's tally as we head to Lake St Clair in New South Wales for round 6. But before we leave you today, let's hear once more from Carl Jocumsen on how he tamed those tricky Glenbawn bass.
Today I used a jackal straight up in the morning in brown dog, just looked like a little carp, and outworked a treat on the big bass that I caught just up on the edge. And then later on, as the sun come out, I went to the deeper trees using this little eco rainbow trout colour with a nitro jig head, and just dropping that down the trees with my Ian Miller Bass Buster long cast rod. I had a Shimano Sustain 1000 reel on that with some 6-pound fire line and 12-pound Nitlon leader.